you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all and that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hearer of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
One of the main things, one of the reasons why these are a lot at Lord Holy-Apostle being here today, at the time of the falsehood has been professed out there in the world, being taught in the world, and given for the people looking for hope and being fed falsehood. And that being said, we can jump into this conversation with the messenger. One of the things that I need to explain to us now that we have hearing people now hear the word of truth that come through the word mouth of this messenger. He's the ambassador of your messenger power for the day and time. He is the pen in the hand of the Lord Most High. And people hearing his word, hear the truth, feel the spirit, and they in turn take the words that the message brings forth from Ahezaah and in turn try to use it for themselves. I think about what the Lord said to the mouth of Jesus. He said, you have the letter of the Lord, but you don't have the spirit. Coming, stealing things, taking it like it is yours, claiming it is yours, but you don't have nowhere to take the people when you bring his word of truth because the spirit is not with you. But the Lord has shown us now that this message I've known for the past over 12, 1 or 13 years now, always been the word of the Lord fresh on the top of his head, full of no things written down, none of things handwritten notes. Whatever the Lord gives, he gives forth to us as part of our education, edification, and teaching of the truth that the Lord gives to him for everybody to be saved in this hour today. So with that, it's certainly Papa. Did you say make that statement? No, about
just help me off. Yes, let's go. Master.
yes, sir.
You know, I'm not gonna say where I believe this man is going after this life. Right, but I'll say this: you have many false prophets.
Yes.
Satan always, Satan's men are always slick, sly, handsome, cute. They carry themselves in a flamboyant manner, and they're usually very good orators.
Okay.
They speak very well. They're very educated. They are literate people, intelligent people. Elijah chose this man, Minister Farrakhan, for the fact of the matter he was very well spoken.
Okay.
And not for anything else.
Okay.
Because he was very well spoken, he could carry that message. If you notice that when Elijah passed and Minister Farrakhan ran to hide and certain individuals in political persuasion brought him back, not believers, but people in political persuasion who was saying, we need a leader, black political persuasion. Right. And he came back and his first statement, basically his first major statement was that my people, the people need a leader. They need someone to have hope in. And I'm that person. I choose myself to be that person. Now that's a very heavy statement, isn't it? Because Elijah was truly a holy messenger and a prophet of Ahezaah. And the reason I say he was a prophet is because he prophesied about my coming with the book. See, Ahezaah, the Christ, it is the true prophet, right? We are only voice boxes of Allah, the prophet, the true prophet. And you have true holy prophets that are servants. Actually, that's why Ahezaah call us in the Holy Quran the pens and the signs. In other writings, it calls us the voices.
Right.
Okay. You have false prophets and you have true holy prophets. If you're not a holy prophet and you go and you speak in the name of the Lord and you start predicting and putting your own spin on what you read of the book of holiness, then you are a false prophet. You may have good intentions, because I will not sit here and say Minister Farrakhan don't have good intentions.
Right.
He might have good intentions for from his own perspective,
Right.
about what he believed, because if he believed that, like he said himself, he said he's afraid of the tree of the
Right.
chosen one. He said that.
Remember that?
I have a tendency to believe that the man, as intelligent as he is ill
Okay.
in the mind, because he goes back and forth with what he says. Like, for instance, and I have said that I didn't want to deal with this man. I don't.
Right.
But I must speak what Ahezaah is putting in me to speak. Okay. Now, he said he allowed his son to call him the divine reminder. So by him accepting that, then he called himself the divine reminder. He's a divine reminder. He didn't say I'm a reminder of the divine. I'm one who reminds you about the divine. He said I'm a divine reminder. He said I am a holy man, a holy reminder. Holy is Allah. Holy is Ahezaah el Allah Amen.
Right.
You may call him Ptah, Kanun, Asare, Osiris, or Brahma, or Brahman, or Shiva, or Shiva, or Vishnu. You may call it whatever.
Right.
But it is holy. It is the holy. It is the only whole thing that is.
Right.
And we are of the holy. Those of us who are chosen by it and forced by it to represent it. See, I'm forced to represent the Lord Most High. This man chooses to represent whatever he considers God. Okay? And he called a black man God.
Yes, he does.
He still calls a black man God. And Ahezaah has to explain what God is. Ahezaah said, I am far above God. And I've never named myself God. This says, I am the Lord and Master of all gods. And I am the God of gods, if you choose to call me God, but that is not my name.
Right.
Because a God can be anything. But nothing can be the eternal being but the eternal being. Nothing could be the Christ but the Christ. We represent the Christ, us of the holy. We represent the Christ. And you have so many men falling down in their emotional overtones, using the name of the Lord Most High, and whether it's Christ or Ra or Amen or whatever, using that name, Nur. You understand me? Using that name and applying it to themselves or to those whom they favor.
Right.
Now, this man, he only hitches on the back of Elijah. He hitches on the back of Elijah. If you recall, when he first started speaking, he spent years of rerunning Elijah's old newspaper articles, the centerfolds, and he had nothing at all new to say. Nothing from the holy. And he had to go and try to re-educate himself and pick a forum to reestablish himself. Come in this war with Elijah's son, and both of them vying for control of the people whom Elijah left behind him. Now, both of them call themselves holy. He called himself an A.H.A.D, the reformer of the family. Okay? Both of them claim to have been from Allah. One is going to kiss the hand of the chief devil in Rome. The one who sits as a symbol or sign of the devil, because we have someone who sits as a symbol or sign of the devil. If he don't sit as a symbol or sign of the devil, then who is it that sits as a symbol or sign of the devil on earth?
That's right.
And the devil will not reveal itself to you. And this man, Minister Farrakhan, had nothing else to say for years, and I used to feel sorry for him. And my Lord let me feel sorry for this man.
Lord, this is Lord Holy-Apostle. Is it you talking about Minister Farrakhan, Warren D. Muhammad, other ministers and leaders and stuff? Is it that
much of them don't really appreciate the true reality. Much of them don't have an understanding of the true reality. See, they are book-minded, book-worthy. They are scholars. And Allah clearly says in book of, is that Isaiah, that and I don't even me being the messenger of the Lord Most High, sitting at basically on the lap of the Lord, I don't even try to take credit from this man. This man, Allah has made him better equipped from the Bible because than myself. I at one time had information that was taken from me, so I cleared out, purified by the Christ, my mind totally wiped out, so that I would be pure for it, to serve it. Now, I can't make claims of having authority over the Bible. This man here has more authority over those Bible stories and the wisdom or the words of it than I do. The literary. He's good, but now he could say something to me, and Ahezaah get me clear understanding, clear wisdom, clear information, and explanations about various things.
With all respect to my dear brother, we're talking about authority, and we remind you all this. Just reminded that whatever is given to you is not ever rehearsed.
They the real is just this moment. I remember a scholar came to see me once about 20 years ago, about 23 years ago, 24 years ago. And he was sent by a charlatan to disturb me. This charlatan was a scholarly himself, master of information. And he was an older individual who sent this younger individual. The older individual had, he had control of a lot of people. And he invited me into his circle, and I broke it up. I didn't like physically break it up. I broke up his charlatanism. So he sent to me one of his understudies to cause me trouble. You understand? And because he sent him to me, the individual came to my home and sat there for a few hours talking to her. And he said to me, "Where's your library?" I don't see your library. And I said, "Library?" He said, "Yeah, I noticed you've been talking about things I've studied for years and you have explanations for them. And I would like to know, where's your books?" I said, "Oh, my library is right there." And I pointed down to the Holy Quran. I believe I had the Holy Quran, Bible dictionary, the Bhagavad Gita, and what's the other? The Kabbalah. Just sitting up there on the thing, and he said, "That's your library." I said, "Yeah." I said, did the brother tell you about me?" He said, "Yeah." And I realized then that the brother didn't tell him about me, what my claims were. You see, because he came looking for a scholar. He came looking for a book-educated man. You understand? Not realizing that I am wholly educated, wholly enlightened. So there's a great difference in having holy information and worldly information. And these ministers, they go and they study. They learn. They go and study. They go and they prepare their lectures and and things of that nature. And I don't understand Minister Farrakhan saying he's afraid of me, because he stated that he's afraid of me. Right. If he wasn't afraid of me, he would have seen me by now. You understand? And he wouldn't be taking some of my words and misconstruing them like some of those other people. Right. But the thing about it is, why I say I believe he's ill is because he would make those heavy statements, those bold statements about one to come. Then he would act like, in certain terms, in his speech, that he is the one to come, telling his congregation, basically. And I heard him giving a lecture, because it pains me to listen to this man. But I heard him giving a lecture, and he said, after he said, if that moves you, that's only the introduction of the book. His conversation, he said, was the introduction of the book. What are you gonna do when you get the rest of the book? You know,
it's wanted to. I know, being witness to this particular book, we speak about the precursor.
And this is just the introduction of the book to the greater book. And they won't receive this book. And I guarantee the Muslims, those fanatic, especially fanatical ones, can't get past the first 12 pages before they fall out. 12 pages.
Mm-hmm. It's something because, and in the statement you just made prior as you were speaking, many times people come from information.
Most times.
Never come from experience.
Right.
And we always this place that is knowledge now. Those who come to experience, now they come to know something. No, the word that I used to bring forth through him, one word of truth, I have seen bring up many people who consider themselves to be learned. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Consider themselves to be learned. And they go about, and as you just mentioned, the brother you just mentioned earlier about he's for your library. And if you a believer, you don't need many signs. When I first met you, it was like a whole lot of signs. He gave me verses, Lord, and he gave me a thing about, he just told me that's enough for you. And then I said, this one more thing, you know, being eager, greedy, so to speak. When he dropped that last word of truth on me, and we were in the basement of his house at the time, and it's cool when people who know the basement, it's cool now.
Right.
When he dropped that one word of truth, I've been with it. That's what was up. I was under a bundle of 5 sticks and think I lit the match. I was in the boiler.
You experienced the reality.
To be honest, I really be talked about the word of truth.
As opposed to what the scholars out there and their conjectures. And we were frank on the comment on Isaiah and
Right.
his reference to the scholars and
Yes.
that they were not the reals. And I'm not the address in the Bible as well, you know.
But you pretty good as the ride. That's how I like both of you.
And people take that when they hear him speak, or they go to so-called challenge the words of the messenger. They walk away many times holding their I need to go away. As I didn't understand anything he said. He spoken in plain English, clear English, word that you understand. You know, no farm, no mixture like some brothers speak with the half English thing going on now. But he come with the truth, and it's either you accept it or reject it.
Sometimes wonder if it's just they think that they don't understand it.
Oh no.
Sometimes, Lord, the mind cannot sitting with you. I hear and I understand, and it's time that I'm giving to understand when I'm giving the lesson and the like. But yes, it's overwhelming too, and sometimes it may take a day or two to come back and assess it and digest it and come back. Or someone might ask me, "Well, what was the message you're talking to you about?" And I said, "It was heavy, it was deep. I have to ponder it." And then maybe a week later, I'm having a conversation with my brother on the job and something like that in the community, and we start spelling out what messenger has just spoken to us about.
Well, out of love for the wisdom of the Lord Most High, you can come back the next day or the next night, what happened. But out of fighting, out of denial, I have had people come to me 10, 15, 20 years later, and I mean literally, and say, brother, I understand what you said. Man, what you told me. And I'm like, I told you that, 15 years ago, 18 years ago. Yeah, I'm just beginning to understand it. It's true what you said, but but my Lord told me, and I told people sometimes conversing with them, yeah, well, you'll understand that in 5 years or 10 years or so forth and so on. And some people who are in rejection, the haters, they think that I'm arrogant. I'm only telling them what the Lord says for me to say. See, my voice, my words actually many times are not mine. And when I say they're not mine, I'm responsible for them because they're coming out of this bite. Right. You understand? But, if you get a pen that writes beautifully, then you don't adore the ink, you adore the pen.
Right.
You understand? When it's really the ink that's more beautiful out of that perfected pen.
Right.
You understand? But see, you got to take it even further. It's not the ink, it's the unseen being, the unseen essence that's manifesting that pen. That's what it is. You see what I'm saying? Right. But some people get a pen that may skip. They look at that pen, they break it, they throw it away. And sometimes I may skip. I may skip because you may not be ready to hear what I'm saying. And I'm about to say something to you, my Lord, snap back. And I'm like, okay, well, let me say it this way.
Yeah, there was that too as well.
You see? Because my Lord has compassion. Words can kill you. Words can mess up your life. And that's one of the reasons so many of the intelligent scholars won't sit down and talk with me, those who are truly aware that I have something deeper than what they're talking about.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
They've realized it. I remember a young man that I met. I was invited to his home by his wife. And we were talking, myself and my wife were right to their home. And we were talking. She was talking to his wife. I was talking to him. And he said, you know, brother, me and my boys, we was gonna come down to your place. We was gonna challenge you, your people, on the symbol that you got all up on your windows and on your signs and what have you. These people were Moorish Americans. It's very studious people. They study all the information, African, ancient African, and everything. When you study, you got phases that you go through with information, with knowledge.
Right.
You got to get through your own self to get to the real.
That's so true.
You see, once the Christ had taken me up, Allah had taken me up into its being of the Christ. But see, I knew it as Allah first.
Right. Okay.
And Amen. And it took me up. And it let me know that it is the Christ. In reality. The real. You understand? So once it remade me, now I don't have to go through the process of it going through my information, my insight, my awareness or anything.
Right.
You see, I'm past that stage. But those who are not wholly enlightened, those who have not been baptized in the Christ, in the fire, in the spirit, in the light, in the essence of the Christ, that's the true baptism. All you do on earth is only significant to that. And on earth, you jump in water. You don't jump in no fire. Huh?
If it's, let me ask you, in quote or paraphrase, one who was in fact baptized in the Christ, but not the Christ itself, Jesus of Nazareth.
Yes.
When he said that I and the Father are one. Yeah, that more of a clarified explanation of your experience.
Did Jesus actually say that?
Well, that's what's the
True to him.
You know, I don't mean to sing something like he had to be fine, but I know that my Lord has demanded the same thing of me. You know, it says you and I are one in the same. I am you and you are me, but you are not me. Because nothing could be me. And it caused me to understand.
Right.
And so in that small saying, it gave me the whole of what people call contradictions in the Bible, the Quran, and all that. In that one statement, I am you and you are me, yet you are not me. And it was no contradiction at all. It caused me to understand. So that which people call contradictions in the Holy Scripture is no contradiction to those who are enlightened, to those who know, to those who are sent down and raised up to explain. And that's what I am. That's what I am. You understand? Now, I am a divine reminder.
That's right.
And I am a divinely chosen one. And I am a divinely unified one. And I am a divine representative of the most holy, of the true holy, the real holy. You understand? And I'm not out here trying to war anymore.
Right.
Because it was a war, me trying to reach out, you know. Once I went to Minister Farrakhan, the politicians got winged up, you know, at the top, all the agents. Then they started bringing all these problems into my life, secret agents bringing problems, trying to cause me, trying to turn me away, not realizing that I'm truly the one. And don't matter what they do, I can't stop. Just like they couldn't stop that tsunami, just like they can't stop a hurricane, just like they can't stop a tornado, they can't stop me. Can't nobody stop me in this world. Only the Lord Most High can stop me. I will only stop when it stopped me. I can't stop myself. Don't think I haven't tried. Don't think I haven't thought about it. And the first day when it came to me, I said, Lord, this is too much for me. The first thing I thought about, I'm going to be like Mal. The Lord said, oh, no, you're not. You're going to go out, you're going to get married, you're going to have children, you're going to raise family, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I thought I was going to be a fighter, a warrior for you. Oh, you got a lot to understand, a lot to learn. You're going to be my petty. And I'm going to take you to places that you can have never imagined. I'm going to show you things that you have never imagined. So once the Lord has taken me up, shown me many things and brought me back down, here I come to these charlatans. Devils all over. People that realized, who was aware of who I am or who I was when I was a child, witches and warlocks, who knew, people who deal with black magic, knew who I was and sensed who I was and had plotted and planned against me before I realized, before I knew. He's allowed them to try to take me off throughout my life. Right up until the day I was enlightened. When they said, back up, get away. He knows now, it's too late. I've heard that conversation. You understand? So it's people like that individual I mentioned to you who would have the audacity to try to attack me, but then you have the other on the other side who are smarter. It's like the Farrakhan's and the other people who say, hey, don't even mention his name. Out of sight, out of mind. If we don't mention him, he'll gain nothing. Because the people are never going to believe the true holy message and prophet of the Lord. They didn't believe Elijah. Many of Elijah's followers didn't believe. That's why as soon as Elijah passed on, they broke camp. They broke the line of defense. They ran. They didn't know what to do. And then the son came and said, they were going to kill you. And everybody feared for their life. If you are the holy, if you are the righteous, if you truly believe and you have faith, how could you ever be concerned about some government or some people coming in to kill you? You need first to have faith that the Lord is going to protect you. And if the Lord is not going to protect you in this life, it's going to take you away from this life and give you the blessings of the next life and protect you there. If you're right, you got so many people wanting to go to heaven, but at the same time, afraid to die. So therefore, they've been to the devil. They've been to these people who's representatives of the devil. See, representatives of the devil and representatives of the Lord Most High are men and the women in this world.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?